one reason it's been so important for the Republican candidates to be so on message is because there are so many Republicans, Tea Partiers, Libertarians lying in the weeds waiting to pounce on those who are not their candidates. And I mean just waiting, lathering, hoping, praying for anything they can jump on, and they're starving right now. It's been, over these last few weeks, they have been starving, and I'm loving it. Because I get a little sick of the division peddlers. I get a little tired of it.
And for right now, I think it's wonderful that conservatives have a megaphone and our message is getting out there, because there isn't any news from the left. There's nothing of interest going on the left. So everything that our guys on the right say, they're actually getting written about in high volume publications. So we're having an opportunity for our message to get out there in a way that it hasn't really gotten out there before. And I think that's a very good thing. We do have to sort of monitor our own. Earlier this week, I guess it was last weekend, Jeb Bush made a commencement speech at Liberty University, and Liberty University is a religious institution. So his commencement speech was about freedom of religion and the importance of religion in our lives, and he had some interesting things to say, and he was actually quite well spoken on the topic, which was a surprise. I mean, I haven't really paid attention to much of what Jeb Bush says at all about anything, and I read a short article about 9 important points from Jeb Bush's speech at Liberty University, and I shared it out, and it would have been awesome for us to talk about how great it is that conservatives are getting better at communicating the connection between religious freedom and free market principles and the American way, and bringing religion into the public sphere and owning it and acknowledging how your religion informs your public life and is a part of you, and being just generally more comfortable and able to communicate morality and the importance of Christianity and the history and heritage and the formation of the nation, etc. It's really nice to have people who can actually speak these things well and speak and get their message broadcast. And so it's important for us to say, oh, this guy who has a big megaphone said these things that are great, let's talk about this message. Well, instead it becomes about whether or not we want Jeb Bush to be our presidential candidate. And that's self-limiting, I think. And
you said Jeb Bush, we want Jeb Bush to be our presidential candidate. Go away. You're done. Done. Over.
Yeah.
Show's done. Pack it up.
We can't even talk about what the candidates are discussing without it being whether you support them for president or not. Who cares?
You can't have those words in the same sentence without being called a rhino. I mean, it's automatic.
And that's all that anybody wants to talk about, is whether Jeb Bush should be my president or not. I don't care. People are listening to what Jeb Bush says, and he says some things that are interesting. Let's talk about that.
It's amazing, and I disagree with Jeb Bush on some things, immigration especially. But it's amazing how many people are saying flat out, if he's the candidate, I will vote Libertarian, I will not vote. There are those here in Denver who are saying they will campaign against him, helping Hillary win. And I had one
rattling. I just ignore that crap. I mean, that's just.
I had one person press me on air, basically not Chris, different show, but one person pressed me on air. Would I help in this endeavor? As if the test of my patriotism, as if I will help Hillary Clinton be president if Jeb Bush is the other numerically viable candidate. It's incredible. And here's the big thing. At a time when somebody is jumping on, here you're bringing up that, Jeb made a very nice speech, really good speech on religion, very refreshing, well put. He's much more eloquent than his brother. He's still last in my list of candidates. I got him dead last. But he's much more eloquent than his brother. And what we're missing is the opportunity, and I want to put this to the group, to jump on what Hillary said about the Christian faith.
And this is what's so heinous about it, because when we're looking at the issues, we're not anymore talking about due process. We're talking about suspicion. We're talking about profiling, and we're talking about a complete lack of due process, because in these stories, the person is not considered the one who has been involved in the crime. It's the assets.